so done with getting blamed for a history that never happened. Like, it's in her freaking mind. Good morning. It is January 3rd and heading back to the workplace. Friday, I ended up doing a little bit of shopping, which is, I hadn't been out shopping. I just went to TJ Maxx. Anyway, I wanted to look for some stocking stuffers for my daughter because she's getting out today. Had some stuff for her stocking, but not enough. And so I kind of wanted to get some more things, so I did do that. And while I was shopping, she called and had left a message. And honestly, it sounded like the most normal I'd heard her in a long time. I mean, I was so thrilled to hear this message because she said she wanted me to come visit, that she's in the new section of the hospital, so she has her own TV in her room, that it's really nice, and I was just really excited. And immediately called her back. Well, when I called her back, the mood was not what the message was. Needless to say, it was a lot of blame. I'm the whole reason she's there. She just wished I'd leave her alone, stop bothering her. Just up one end. Yeah, it was probably a good half hour of her yelling at me. She'd wanted me to come visit. It was New Year's Eve. It's also a girlfriend of mine's birthday, so we had reservations and everything, plans, and she's all of a sudden wants me to go visit her, and I was like, listen, I'll come in the morning, but we already have reservations. I explained the situation, like, you can't tell somebody to leave you alone, never let them come visit, and then all of a sudden, that whim, you expect me to drop everything and come visit. It's like, it doesn't work that way. So when I said, well, I'll come in the morning, even though I actually did have breakfast plans for the morning, I would have gladly canceled that. And then she just became belligerent again about how much she basically hates me, her father, but especially me, that I just need to leave her alone, and she hung up on me. So my mood had gone from this, oh my God, I've got my daughter back, for a glimpse. I kind of wish I hadn't called her back. I could have held on to that message and just believed that everything was going to be okay. But I'm so done with getting blamed for a history that never happened. Like, it's in her freaking mind. And I don't fight with her about it because I believe she probably believes it, but I also can't play in this fantasy land where she had a horrible upbringing and that I was this evil mother, because I did the best I could. Like, did we have everything? No, I was a single mother trying to raise my kid. Her dad was involved. She was fortunate. She had both of us involved, 50-50. She had a good upbringing, but she, you provide the best you can for somebody, and when they're spitting on it every time, telling you the best you could do, not only was it not good enough, but you failed miserably. How many times do you have to listen to that? So quite honestly, I did New Year's, whatever. The next day I thought, well, if she calls me and apologizes, or calls and says she wants me to visit, I will. But I'm not going to keep going out of my way to get kicked in the teeth. So I never heard from her, and I didn't go. And then I started feeling guilty because I really did want to go see her, but I don't want to go see her to get yelled at. So I just didn't. And then we ended up having breakfast plans Saturday, and we went to get breakfast, and apparently they weren't serving breakfast after 11, so we got there at 11 and they had stopped serving. and we all were like really wanting breakfast. So we made this impromptu plan. We're like, well, let's just we're gonna go to another town south of here. We know of a very good breakfast place that serves all day. It's over an hour away, but whatever, let's just wing it and go. It was one of those days that was not planned, but like ended up being the most fun day. So it was me and my boyfriend and another couple, and we took off, we drove to the other place. It was awesome. It was an amazing breakfast. They'd never been there before, so they loved it too. And we had the best time. And then another girlfriend of mine called. There was a band that was going to be playing in our area, and she and I used to hang out. Then she moved because she had grandchildren, wanted to be close to them. So she called on a whim and said, oh, she was coming up, would like me to go see this band with her. And I had gone to breakfast, so we were driving back, and she had got a hotel room, but something happened with the hotel that she was grossed out, didn't want to stay there. So she ends up coming to stay with me. We go to the band. We had a great time. So all of New Year's Day, it was amazing, regardless of the fact I had not talked to my daughter. I had a good day. And then the next day I thought, well, maybe she'll call and want me to come see, which would have been yesterday. And nothing. I got nothing. So and honestly, I had kind of partied like a rock star the day before, and I really wasn't feeling well. And I was like, you know what? I really just want to take a bath. I want to chill. My boyfriend wants to watch football. We didn't even go out to watch football. We stayed in. Just really low-key day, and I kept thinking, well, maybe she'll call. If she calls, I'll go see. Well, she never did call, and I felt really guilty, and I should have called her probably, because she's supposed to get out today. Now, one more thing I want to say about her getting out today. She told me she's not going to go back to the group home. She told me she'd rather be homeless. She basically told me every fearful thing that she always does, that she's not going to pay her rent, that on and on and on, how she's the victim. She's not paying rent. She shouldn't have to pay rent. Not taking any responsibility. And this is the stuff she was all saying on the phone to me the other night. And I'm just like, you know what? I can't deal with it. I know how much I can take. And I was reaching my limit with everything going on. I just couldn't deal with it. So, in a nutshell, she's supposed to get out today. They have a meeting at 1. I'm not going to go, because I'm not going to go listen to her tell me she wants to be homeless. She's going to do what she's going to do. She's a freaking adult. She's in a decent state of mind where she's not manic. So she knows right from wrong. She just wants to guilt me into paying thousands of dollars for her rent that she has not paid for months. And she's basically telling me I'm either paying for it or she's going to go be homeless because she refuses to pay for it. And there's got to be a point in time, guys, where we say, okay, I can't keep digging you out of this hole that you have put yourself into. You've chosen to be in this hole. You did not choose to be mentally ill. No. But when you're feeling well enough, when I know, and I do know you're feeling well enough to make decisions, good decisions, and you're still choosing not to, I cannot support that. I'm not going to pay. Let's just put it this way, guys. She has 3 checking accounts. She has way more in her checking accounts because she hasn't paid rent. So this is all through disability. This is not, I went out and earned the money, which, granted, if you get disability, there's a reason, and you deserve it. But that disability check is supposed to go to rent, not towards smoking weed or whatever else you decide to do. So you need to adult, and I can't. So today should be interesting because she's supposed to get out today. She's refusing to go back to the group home. And I'm kind of wiping my hands of getting in the middle of it and getting myself stressed out about it. And And so I have to run into work, but that's where I'm at, and we'll see. I'm trying really hard not to feel guilty. I want to be there for her. I would do anything, but honestly, I'm not helping her if I feed into allowing her to walk all over me, to not pay her rent, to just be an ass. I can't. I'm not going to support that. I don't think I would be a very good parent if I did support that. You have a mental illness and that sucks. Just like if somebody has cancer, it sucks. But it doesn't give you a license to be an asshole all the time. It does give you a license to be an asshole part of the time, but when you want to continue to be an asshole when you're feeling better, I'm sorry, no. So, I don't know. I feel like I know my limits, and I just know what feels right and wrong. And I do feel some guilt about not calling and not going to visit, but at the same time, I know I have to protect myself, and I have to be the strong person that I can be for her. And I'm stronger sometimes by separating, and sometimes you have to do that. So, all right, I'll let you know what goes on, because at 1 o'clock in a few hours, there is the discharge meeting. I took my lunch break about the same time as the phone call was scheduled, just in case they wanted me on the phone. And 2 hours later, here I am. At first I decided I didn't think I wanted to be on the phone call, because I knew what it was going to be was my daughter basically either wanting to come back and live with me and live in the basement, self-medicate, do whatever, which is just not an option for a lot of reasons that I won't really get into. But put it this way, if they can't handle the behaviors at a damn group home, I don't know how anyone would expect me to be able to handle it. So I knew it was going to be that, or wanting me to pay her rent. So they called me because the social worker was out today, the social worker she'd been working with. So this social worker didn't know me from Adam, and basically just called me in on the call. And I said, well, I was a little leery to attend the phone call, but since they'd called, then okay. That was not a pleasant meeting. She went off on when I said I wasn't paying her rent. Like, she just went off on me. I'm basically a piece of garbage mother that she has no idea why I'm even on the phone call, why I even talk to her. Like, she wants me out of her life, blah, 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 same old story. So I just kept quiet the rest of the meeting, because anything I say just triggers her anger. But the house told her she had to pay her rent. She was like $5,000 behind. And it's only it's what she pays for rent, which is what she gets from her SSI disability. What she pays for rent it's like $700, includes everything, food, medication, like everything. So it's not like it's outrageous, and it's not like she's gonna find rent that low anywhere. Like, she's just not gonna. She keeps saying she's just gonna go be homeless, or she's gonna find an apartment. And it's like, yeah, good luck. I'm kind of at the point where if you want to make a stupid choice like that, then go ahead. You're an adult. Her dad wasn't on the call, and I finally texted him about the time she was berating me, and she had mentioned wanting her father on the call. She always wants him, she doesn't want me, and he's the one that doesn't want to, and I'm the one that's on it. But whatever. I texted him, asked if he could please join the call. So he finally did, and he basically told her straight up, listen, you've got these people here who care about you, and you're just berating everybody who's trying to help you. And she's just on and on about she's an adult and she can do this stuff herself, and she doesn't need anyone's help. And he was like, basically smarten the F up, like, let people help you that want to help you. Stop blaming everyone for everything, and make some money and make a plan like every other adult, as to where you can live and what's going to work. And everything he said was true, and I felt like she was sort of listening. And then, I don't know, she tried to interrupt him a couple of times. When he gets on these lectures, he will kind of go on for a while, and everything he says makes sense, but then she'll interrupt him, and that'll piss him off, and then she'll negate something he says, and that pisses him off even more. So he ended up saying, okay guys, I'm done, I've had enough of this, I'm out. And he hung up the phone, which is this is very typical. This is what happens. The group home said, like, we can't force you to be here, it's voluntary. The only other thing you can do is call a homeless shelter and try to get into a homeless shelter if you really don't want to come back. And they said, we think you need a night to think over it. At this point it's 2 o'clock, so you can't come back today. We suggest you think about it, and we will talk in the morning, and then we'll come get you in the morning if you decide you're going to come back, and if not, you'll have to figure something out. And that's how it was left. And I'm just kind of like wiped, like done. And she basically told me to go pound sand. So I'm just gonna give her space. I hope she thinks about it tonight, and I hope she realizes that her best bet is to go back to the house and try to work on herself. But I don't know. She also told us that she was recently assaulted by somebody she was getting her medication, her cannabis from, and that she thinks it wasn't from a dispensary, and that there might have been something in it that was not good. So these are the things that I've always worried about, right? Her getting drugged or whatever. The exact thing that we worry about, why we don't want her out on the streets, and she's telling us this is what happened. So I don't know. I think I've got to process it, and I'll tune back in once I do. But it was a lot. It was a heavy meeting, and I'm really wiped, and now I have to go back into work. Ugh. All right.